like the poles are like an ornament. She's just doing this. And she's not. They're just like just throw them away if you're gonna walk like that. You're not actually using them.
When I'm coming down off a mountain, I find that if I lean into the loops of the handles, just like really push down on them, it takes a lot of weight
Totally.
off of my feet.
I met some guys and like going north. They were going north, doing a mile like 1,200, and I was like 800 going south. I told them, you know, you adjust these for up and downhill, right? They're like, what? They'd hiked 1,200 miles, 3 dudes. They did not know that these should be adjusted during the day many times. I adjust these at least 10 times a day.
Okay, I don't do it that much.
So as I'm going up, I'm stepping here, so why would I need a long pole with my hand up here? You don't want your hand up here. They're like my shoulder shirt. Your shoulder shirt because your pole's too long.
Yeah.
So I will.
We figured that one out.
Exactly. I will scrunch it down to 15 when I'm going. If it's really steep, like that crazy staircase we just went up, then I'm down to here. Because I don't ever want to feel that uncomfortable in my shoulder. Then when I'm cruising flat, I'm up to about 117 centimeters, because then I'm pushing off and going. And whenever I start down, I switch to 120 right away at least, because then it's way below me. So now I got to get. I mean, there's this length plus however much further I'm going down, so I clearly need more. That's the first thing I would say. The second is a lot of people grab it like this. That's wrong.
There's so much strain on my wrist.
Exactly. You don't want strain on your wrist. Let me tighten this and show you. I see this error all the time.
I had to show a guy that he'd been hiking for years, and he was that's how you're supposed
It's
to
a
do
big
it?
difference, man.
Yeah.
So people will come like down into the hoop and grab it, and you'll see this thing just dangling, and they're doing this. So all this wrist strain all day long. Totally not how they're supposed to be used. Your fingers should almost be doing nothing.
Right.
They're just barely holding it to make sure it doesn't fall away. So
Hmm.
if you come up from underneath
Okay, now this is something.
and grab it, this distributes the force all the way around.
Oh.
Yeah. And now this,
And all your weight goes on that
all your weight's
band.
right there. So if you come like this,
Yeah.
you've got pressure just in that one point. See how the strap's not touching me anywhere?
Yeah.
That's better than all of it like this, but not much, because you're still straining your
Yeah.
wrist. If you come from underneath and then grab it, now look at how it's distributed all the way around. And see how my hand's not almost doing nothing? My
Yeah.
fingers? So I'm
Absolutely.
choking like this. So as I'm hiking, my fingers are just barely there. You don't even need the handle very much.
Yeah.
So the other part of it is, I'll just keep picking on my girlfriend. So I see her hiking along, she's just kind of like walking. I'm like, what are you doing with those poles? They're just extra weight. You need to actually use these poles, because what they do if you're using them is you're trying to take weight and pressure off your ankles, your knees, and your hips and everything, right? And your butt. You don't want your legs to do everything. You want to start using your back muscles, because you know when you swim or dig, all your back muscles are engaged. That's what should be happening here. So like as I'm stepping like this, I'm at this point right here. Now I'm actually pulling every time. It's like I'm trying to pull this thing back there, throw it. That's the motion. So I'm grabbing that ground, and I'm actively, I'm pulling myself with that arm. And then I switch, and I'm pulling. It's a diagonal. It's not straight like this. I'm not doing this. I'm actually planting diagonally, and I'm pulling like a swim move as I'm walking. Now, if I'm going fast, I might do a couple like this. But man, if I'm going uphill, every single step, every time I step, I'm pulling on this side. Now I'm pulling here, and I'm walking like this, and I'm pulling. And it frees up all this, and so you're distributing the work around your whole body. And these are an active thing to be actively used at every single step. And I feel like 90% of the people are not using the poles right.
It's so valuable. That whole
And also make sure that these things are still good. Most of the time, can you see all those cool little forms at the end there? Those are going to grip the rock. Who was I telling you that knee injury?
oh,
I have the tips sent to myself every so often to replace them, because I'll see people these things wear down to just little nubs.
How often?
For me, it's like every 400 miles. That's just how I use it.
Can you buy those at supply store or something like that?
So the better poles. These are cheap, but
No, not the pole. I'm talking about the.
I know.
Okay.
This is why. Before I get to that, though, the reason being that if you don't make sure that's got good grip to it, this becomes just like dull, and then suddenly you can slide off of objects and go tumbling down. And I've had that happen to me before. You can really hurt yourself. So, because I'm relying on this. Because remember, I told you I'm not just walking and tapping the ground. I'm actually planting and using it. So if I depend on that and then it goes, now I can go. So you want to make sure it's got grip, just like you want good treads in your shoes. Because these are cheap, I think it's worth it though. These are cheap. Cascade, Mountain Tech, you have to order them online. The better ones, you just unscrew this little bit right here and screw a new one in. These ones don't actually have that feature. So you actually have to buy this whole piece.
Oh wow.
So this handle here, I've had I've got to fix because see it's sliding down. It's one of my 0-day projects. I probably changed these 8 times at least, maybe 10 times for the same handle. Because every 400 miles, this thing is dull again. Do you know if you're screw off?
I don't know what.